I am so nervous about making this video because it's a video that I've wanted to make for so long, but I've put off because it's incredibly intimidating. But today I'm going to show you every book on my physical TBR. This is a daunting task because I have hundreds of books and a good portion of them I've never read. 99% of the books that I've read in the past 3 years have been on my Kindle, an audiobook, or something I borrowed from the library. And that's actually really disappointing, and that's part of why I want to make this video. I want to hold myself accountable. I want to be able to know what's on my shelf because I've read the contents of the books that are sitting on it. And I think that when I started building my collection of books, I didn't really have any books. And so I was thrifting, so I was paying very little for the books, and I was just gathering up as many books as possible. I saw a book that I thought was remotely something that would be in my wheelhouse, and I would pick it up, and then it would end up on my shelf for months and months and months unread. I'm trying to be a little bit more intentional with my reading when it comes to the books that I'm choosing, the way that I'm reading, how fast I'm consuming them, and I want that to translate to my actual physical TBR in the books that I own, because I don't just want to own books to look at them. And in fact, I own so many books right now that I cannot look at them because I only own one bookshelf, and I have 3 bookshelves worth of books. So I just have stacks and stacks of books that sit all over the place. I can't even look at them. I can't even really enjoy them from an aesthetic point of view. It's just kind of a waste. And I don't want to be wasteful. I want to be intentional. So this is me saying to you, these are the books that are my priority reads. These are my goals for 2026. And if you catch me reading too many books outside of these, hold me accountable, because I really do have intention to get through these books. My follow through is sometimes not the greatest. So come with me on this journey. It's gonna be a long one, so lock in, get your snack, get your cozy drink, and let me show you my entire physical TBR. So I think I'm going to start with this shelf. It's my Pinks and Reds. With a Vengeance by Riley Sager. Dracula by Bram Stoker. All of the classics in my physical TBR are going onto a separate TBR list because I'm doing a series in 2026 where I read one classic per month. So I have quite a few classics, and I'm going to put them onto that separate list. Iron Widow by Jaron J. Zhao. An Unwanted Guest by Sherry Lapina. Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte. The Near Witch by V.E. Schwab. The Christmas Fix by Lucy Score. I am doing a Christmas book vlog, so this will go on to that pile. Did You Hear About Kitty Carr by Crystal Smith Paul. Rise and Ruin, which is the 3rd book in the Shadow and Bone series by Leigh Bardugo. A Brilliant Spring by Kate Smoke. Ghosts by Dolly Allerton. Blood Like Magic by LaSalle Sambury, who's one of my favorite authors. Highly Suspicious and Unfairly Cute by Talia Hibbert. Too Beautiful to Break by Tessa Bailey. Rana June and the One and Only Now by Shada Datat. Things We Hide from the Light by Lucy Score. Savor It by Tara DeWitt. One Last Stop by Casey McQuiston, and I Kiss Shara Wheeler by Casey McQuiston. Up next, we'll have my Orange and to Yellows. To Have and Have Not by Ernest Hemingway. Burn Our Bodies Down by Rory Powers. This is about a young girl who's desperate to know about her family roots, and the deeper and deeper she digs into the family tree, the more she realizes that the family tree is tainted. Love in the Time of Serial Killers by Alicia Thompson. Turn of the Screw by Henry James. The Elite by Kira Cass. The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas. Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez. Homebody by Rupi Kaur. Count Your Lucky Stars by Alexandra Belfour. The Good Girl Complex by Elle Kennedy. The Spanish Love Deception by Elena Armas. Maybe in Another Life by Taylor Jenkins Reid. Onion Spice by Bola Babola. The Doctoral Disaster by A.J. Osborne. Pride in Paper Cuts by Stacey Hart. Bad Honey by Jodi Picoult and Jennifer and Finney Bolin. Grown by Tiffany D. Jackson. Emma by Jane Austen. The Great Gatsby by F. Scott Fitzgerald. After I Do by Taylor Jenkins Reid. Beach Cute by Beth Rickles. What If It's Us by Becky Albertalli and Adam Silvera. Daisy Hates and the Great Undoing by Jessa Hastings. The Wall of Winnipeg and Me by Mariana Zapata. Love Her or Lose Her by Tessa Bailey. Bossy Pants by Tina Fey. The Last Thing He Told Me by Laura Dave. The Charlie Method by Elle Kennedy, and this is actually my signed copy of the book. And lastly is The Bodyguard by Catherine Center. Now we're looking at my lime greenish yellow into greens and sort of tealy blues. Permanent Record by Mary H.K. Choi. Dandelion by Gabby Hanna. The The Farm by Joanne Ramos. You Made a Fool of Death with Your Beauty by Akwamsi Amezi. The Legacy by Elle Kennedy. Shirley by Charlotte Bronte. This Is Why They Hate Us by Aaron Asivs. Anxious People by Frederick Bachman. Wayward Son by Rainbow Rowell. And Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. The Inheritance Games by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. A Black Winter by Kate Smoke. Get Real Chloe Torres by Crystal Maldonado. LA Weather by Maria Amparo Escandon. Deadly Ever After by Brittany Johnson. Normal People by Sally Rooney. Hook, Line, and Sinker by Tessa Bailey. Freaking Romance by Snail Lords, which is a Wattpad webtoon graphic novel. One True Loves by Taylor Jenkins Reid. Purple Hearts by Tess Wakefield. Royal Wedding by Jasmine Guillory. How My Neighbor Stole Christmas by Megan Quinn. And Window Shopping by Tessa Bailey are all part of my holiday Christmas TBR list. What You Gonna Do by Avery Flynn. On Girl by Gillian Flynn. Rule Number 1 by Jessa Wilder. Not Here to Be Liked by Michelle Quach. Of Curses and Kisses by Sandia Manon. Simple Wild by K.A. Tucker. Only Mostly Devastated by Sophie Gonzalez. While We Were Dating by Jasmine Guillory. Beartown by Frederick Bachman. The Selection by Kira Kass. We've got my dark blues. Storm and Siege by Lee Bardugo. The Ghost We Keep by Mason Deaver. Shatter Me and Unravel Me by Tahiri Mafi. Party of Two by Jasmine Guillory. Brave New World by Aldous Huxley. Us Against You by Frederick Bachman. Dreams Lie Beneath by Rebecca Ross. To All the Boys I Loved Before and P.S. I Love You by Johnny Hahn. Every Summer After by Carly Fortune. The Proposal by Jasmine Guillory. Instructions for Dancing by Nicola Yoon. Family of Liars by E. Lockhart. The Unhoneymooners by Christina Loren. More Than Just a Pretty Face by Saeed Masood. Daisy Darker by Alice Feeney. Such a Fun Age by Kylie Reed. An Absolutely Remarkable Thing by Hank Green. The Mystery Guest by Nita Prose. My Lady's Choosing by Kitty Curran and Larissa Seguras. This is a choose your own adventure book, which I am actually very excited about. All's Well by Mona Awad. Ace of Spades by Farida Abiki-Amini. Earthlings by Siyaka Murata. The Midnight Library by Matt Haig. They Both Die at the End by Adam Silvera. The Night She Disappeared by Lisa Jewell. Daisy Hates by Jessa Hastings. Scrappy Little Nobody by Anna Kendrick. The Love Hypothesis by Ellie Hazelwood. Beneath the Stars by Emily McIntyre. Funny Feelings by Tara DeWitt. 1,000 Letters by Stacey Hart. Then this sort of goes into my dark blues / purples. Alright, it is day 2 of trying to get this video going, so let's continue where we left off, which was with the blues and purples. Twisted Love by Anna Huang. Most Valuable Player by Anne Woody. This is also an arc that I got from Team Penguin Canada. The Love of My Afterlife by Christy Greenwood. If the Shoe Fits by Julie Murphy. Beautiful World, Where Are You by Sally Rooney. Girl Abroad by Elle Kennedy. Better Than the Movies by Lynn Painter. Shoot Your Shot by Lexi LaFleur Brown. Too Hot to Handle by Tessa Bailey. The Extraordinaires by TJ Klune. Unfortunately Yours by Tessa Bailey. Too Wild to Tame by Tessa Bailey. Fool Me Once by Ashley Winstead. In Your Dreams, Holden Rose by Stephanie Archer. Fix Her Up by Tessa Bailey. How to Stop Time by Matt Haig. Behind the Net by Stephanie Archer. Assistant to the Villain by Hannah Nicole Mahir. Happily Ever After by Kira Kass. Super Adjacent by Crystal Sestari. Something Fabulous by Alexis Hall. Only the Survivors by Megan Miranda. Till Death Do Us Part by Lori Elizabeth Flynn. A Bright Summer by Kate Smoke. Love Redesigned by Lauren Asher. Yes, No, Maybe So by Becky Albertalli and Aisha Saeed. Like Home by Louisa Onami. Carry On by Rainbow Rowell. The X-Hex by Aaron Sterling. The Vanishing Half by Britt Bennett. This One Summer by Mariko and Jillian Tamaka. Picture of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde. The Air by Kira Kass. I Wish You All the Best by Mason Deaver. Mexican Gothic by Sylvia Moreno Garcia. Cemetery Boys by Aiden Thomas. We Were Never Here by Andrea Bartz. The Spectacular by Zoe Whittle. Radio Silence by Alice Osmond. Midnight Sun by Stephanie Meyer. This is my most recent addition to my TBR. I think this is the entire Beautiful series by Christina Loren. Beautiful Bombshell. Beautiful Biatch, Beautiful Player, Beautiful Bastard, Beautiful Secret, and Beautiful Stranger. I think that's the entire series. Hopefully I'm not missing any. The entire Hush Hush series by Becca Fitzpatrick, City of Ghosts and Tunnel of Bones by V.E. Schwab, American Royals by Catherine McGee, and Difficult Woman by Roxanne Gay, Paravel by Stephanie Garber, Lightlark by Alex Astor, The Queen's Resistance by Rebecca Ross, A Darker Shade of Magic by V.E. Schwab, Cinder and Scarlet by Marissa Mayer, A Kingdom of Sun and Shadow by Danielle Hill, Persuasion by Jane Austen, Big Little Lies by Leanne Moriarty, A Kingdom of Fire and Flesh, and The Crown of Gilded Bone by Jennifer Armitrout, and On Please by Dumois. And I used to follow Dumois on Instagram, and I loved seeing the little blind items, so I'll be interested to see a book based on that. My Best Friend's Exorcism by Grady Hendrix, The Manor of Dreams by Christina Lee, The Night We Lost Him by Laura Dave, Turtles All the Way Down by John Green, Sign Here by Claudia Lux, Necessary People by Anna Petonic, Dearest by Jacqueline Walters, Somewhere Beyond the Sea by TJ Klune, Cirque by Madeline Miller, The Final Girl Support Group by Grady Hendrix, Before I Let Go by Kennedy Ryan, Shut Up You're Pretty, which is a collection of stories by Tia Majonji, Dark Places by Gillian Flynn, Homework, which was a Julie Andrews memoir, Sometimes I Lie by Alice Feeney, One by One by Ruth Ware, Yes Please by Amy Poehler, It Won't Always Be Like This, which is a graphic novel by Malaka Gharib, Get a Life Chloe Brown by Talia Hibbert, 0 Days by Ruth Ware, The Sun and Her Flowers by Rupi Kaur, Room Service by Maren Stoffels, We Were Liars by E. Lockhart, The Silent Patient by Alex Michaelides, Mouthful of Birds by Samantha Schweblin, which I'm actually in the middle of reading, Taylor's Oldest Time, A Twisted Tale by Liz Broswell, Good Kingdom by Lou Bardugo, I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings by Maya Angelou, The Idea of You by Robin Lee, Happy and You Know It by Laura Hankin, Longings by Chloe Gong, and last but not least, The Atlas Six by Olive Blake. I think there might be 1 or 2 stragglers around the house that I have missed, but ostensibly, this is my TBR collection. It is so many books. I will have to go through and count them. I'll put the number here because I should have been counting them as I went, but one day of filming turned into 2 and I don't know what number I was at. So here is the number of books total that I have in my physical TBR, and I need to make a concerted effort to dwindle this number down either by unhauling or reading. I am sure there are some books that I can unhaul, but I want to at least prop them open and give them a little bit of a try before I decide to unhaul them. So I will probably do a couple of videos in the coming future where I am reading like 50 to 100 pages of a book max to decide if it's something that I want to keep on my shelf or not. Look out for that because I really need to get a move on with these books on my TBR. I'm excited about most of the books that I have. It's just a matter of time, overthinking my TBR. Sometimes I think I can read 20 books a month, and then when I end up reading only 1 or 2, I get very anxious and disappointed in myself, and it kind of creates a vicious cycle. For now, this is my physical TBR. I hope you enjoyed this video. I've never really done a video like this, but that is all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you on Tuesday with my next video.